Not in Jerusalem. What did it? You'll worship the Father not in Jerusalem will not be an issue in the future? The center of the Jewish world, the center of Jewish worship, the center of the Jewish sacrificial Levitical system will become obsolete, radical, disturbing, rocking our world. Because if not there, in the temple, then where? Well, before he tells you where, he puts things in perspective. You, Samaritans, worship. You worship. You bet you worship. We just saw pictures of them worship. They're still worshiping. The couple hundred that are still there. You worship what you do not know. In other words, your hearts are right, but your heads are all confused. You worship what you do not know. We worship, we Jews. We worship what we know, as revealed from Moses and the writings and the prophets. We know, for salvation is from or of the Jews. For those who want to say that the Gospel of John is an anti-Semitic book, they would have to posit that this verse is a later insertion, snuck in by some Judeo-phile in the church later on. Nonsense. It's not anti-Semitic at all. It's pro-Semitic, but it's more than pro-Semitic. It's pro-Jesus. It's pro-Yeshua. But bottom line, salvation is from the Jews. As Paul puts it in Romans, starting in 3, gets interrupted, picks up the train of thought in 9. First of all, they, the Israelites, they were entrusted with the oracles of God. The Bible comes from the Jews. Israelites, to whom belongs the adoption as sons, the relationship with God. And the glory, the Shekinah glory, the presence of God manifest among his people. And the covenants, the Abrahamic covenant, the Mosaic covenant, the Davidic covenant, the new covenant. And the giving of the Torah, and the temple service, and the promises, whose are the fathers, and from whom the Jewish people is Mashiach, is the Christ according to the flesh. Salvation, everything we know about salvation, abstractly, intellectually, emotionally, and physically, up to and including the birth of the Messiah himself, the ultimate and only true means of salvation. It all comes from the Jewish people. Salvation, as Jesus said, is from the Jews.